Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. We're live from Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, Love 99.5 in Kumasi, and affiliates across Ghana, including Kalio FM, Akachi, Radio Y&Y, ATL FM in Cape Coast. Download the My Joy online app from the Play Store and App Store to listen live on the internet. Coming up, scores of patients, including pregnant women, stranded, and many of them begging to be attended to as all laboratories and public health facilities are shut down indefinitely.
It's a very difficult situation because some people's conditions are very critical.
But the lab scientists say they will not back down until their grievances are fully resolved.
Where we won't even give a timeline until management resolve our issues, we are not going to come to work.
We'll speak to our reporters across the country to assess the impact of the strike. Also,
the teachers usually have to rush through the syllabus because they don't know when we are going to go home.
We teach from the known to the unknown. You need to recap what you taught 3 months ago and then bring in the new concept you want to add. And that is where we find it difficult.
Chilling accounts of the impact of what teachers and students say is an irregular school calendar on academic work in senior high schools. We'll continue with our series on implementation of the free senior high school program and ask if there are challenges. Why are stakeholders quiet?
We are pretending to presume that, we shall overcome. All is not well. We have to admit.
Someone teacher speaking on the matter, if you are not careful and you are victimized, you also have family.
Head of Local Government Service says the huge interest shown in the MMDC's jobs could potentially brew disunity at the base of the governing NPP as thousands apply for the 260 jobs available.
In 2001, we were 5. And when I was appointed, some of the competitors were aggrieved, and that it affected my confirmation.
Well, chairman of the NPP says the development is transparent and healthy for the party as it dismisses calls for consideration of academic qualification for the job.
You need somebody with at least a minimum requirement, at least a master's degree.
Even the presidency itself, it's not required that one should hold a degree.
And in sports,
8 weeks of camping in Europe. That is what Ghana's 4x100-meter relay quartet team needs if they are to win a medal in the Tokyo Olympics. We'll hear from the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association, Bawa Husseini.
And much later.
In fact, a 2-term president of the Republic. As they say in Pidgin, levels don't change.
And that's President Akufo-Addo and his excitement about the presidency. My name is Mama Viosu Abuaje. Details shortly. Now, scores of patients, including pregnant women, are stranded, and many of them begging to be attended to as all laboratories and public health facilities are shut down indefinitely. It comes as the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists begin a nationwide strike after a breakdown in talks with management of Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital and the Health Ministry. We'll get an update of the situation from our reporters across the country and hear from some patients. But first, listen to President of the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital branch of the laboratory scientists Ernest Bedu-Boateng.
So today we are going to affirm the NEC decision that the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists NEC have taken, that this strike be escalated to a total full-blown strike where we won't even give a timeline. Until management resolve our issues, we are not going to come to work. So that's the president of the CAT branch of the laboratory scientists, Ernest Bedu-Boateng. Let's check the impacts of the strike in the country's public health facilities. We'll begin from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, from where my colleague Kweku Asante joins me live. Kweku, first of all, what is the situation where you are?
Right, Mamavi. So here at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the lab is open, the workers are here, but they are not attending to patients. Unless, and of course, they've already made payments and the samples were taken before today. They are saying they are doing this in solidarity with their colleagues at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. They are saying their members are qualified to head the laboratory unit at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital and have described the appointment of the 2 medical doctors to head the unit as illegal. And they are repeating the stance that their colleagues across the country have taken, that until and unless that this situation changes at Komfo Anokye, They are not going anywhere. And the patients here are begging. They are literally calling on the authorities to fix the situation for them to be treated. I've seen very frail patients come in and having been turned away. And they tell me that they don't have the resources to be able to go to private facilities. So the situation is very dire here, Mamavi.
We've not heard anything of any strike. Yeah, so honestly, I was a bit surprised when I got here and they are not working. It's a bit difficult situation because some people's condition are very critical and they need to be attended to. Some of us, maybe I can do well to go across the street for my test, but then others are very critical and they need to. So I think if the authority can come in and then talk to them to do, save those people, I think it will be very good. It's a bit worrying.
I went
to them, I showed them my request, and they said they don't do this type of lab here. So I have to take it to a private place to do it. There are so many labs around Kolebu, so I'll find a place to do it.
Kwekwa Santi, you've also been speaking to the chairman of the Kolebu chapter of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists. What has he been saying?
Right, so Mr. Kwate has described the appointment of the two doctors to head the unit at Konfanosi Teaching Hospital as illegal. He's saying that if any loss of life is occasioned by this strike, it should be put at the doorstep of the Ghana Health Service or the Minister of Health.
We made it clear that any blood that will go down as a result of this strike will go down on the heads of the management at Konfanosi and then possibly the Minister of Health, because they were supposed to have intervened long time ago. As for GMA, they will have a part to play, but as compared to the management of Konfanosi and the Minister of Health. Yeah.
You are saying that until and unless these two medical doctors at Konfanosi Teaching Hospital are removed from their offices, you will not go back? Or is there any compromise that you think can be reached in this situation, or the only thing you want is to see those two out?
In the first place, we have been clear. Those two people should be out. In the first place, it's even illegal for them to be there in the first place. They don't have the license to practice medical laboratory science in Ghana. It's finito. I'm surprised why, as at now, the police have not gone for them. Because it's an illegality. It's as illegal as somebody who is stealing somewhere. And the law actually fronts on such actions. Yeah.
Which law are you referring to? Is there a particular law that says you are not certified as a lab practitioner? You cannot.
If you read
as head, administrative head.
If you read the Act 857, it is clear. There are clear lines in medical practice in Ghana.
And that's the chairman of the Kolebu chapter of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Francis Kwachi Enchi, speaking there to Kweku Asante. Let's head to the northern region to assess the impact of the strike there. And our reporters say pregnant women are the hardest hit in the ongoing strike by lab scientists at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Most of the pregnant women at the obstetrics and gynecology units have been there since morning, hoping the scientists would change their minds. We'll speak to our correspondent, Martina Bugri, but let's go to Rafiq Salam, who's reporting from Wa. He joins me on the line now. Rafiq, what can you report?
The situation in the Upper West region, precisely the Wa municipality, is not different. The patients are bearing the brunt of this indefinite strike, are embarked in solidarity with what is happening at the Konfanosi Teaching Hospital. I got to the hospital around 7:30 and I can see droves of clients at some of these facilities, but they were turned away and they were told simple that we are sorry that we are not coming today because we are on a strike. And so they have to seek this lab test at other private facilities. And for them, the private facilities are now making a windfall out of the situation.
Rafiq Salam reporting there from Wa. We'll go to the central region. Our regional correspondent Richard Kojonyako joins us. He's monitored the situation at the Cape Coast Hospital. And Richard, what are patients resorting to as a result of the strike?
Well, so there are private laboratories around that patients are reporting, or that is where they have turned to. If you go to the blood bank, they are not working. If you go to the major laboratories in the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital and then at the Cape Coast Metro Hospital, these places are not working. And left patient stranded, and so they're appealing to the authorities to do something about it because it is having a rippling effect on them.
Richard Kojonyako reporting from Cape Coast. Meanwhile, Chairman of Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Nana Yaw-Afriyie, is asking the striking lab scientists to call off their industrial action and petition Parliament over their concerns. He argues that the withdrawal of services could lead to the loss of lives. Dr. Afriyie told my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson the committee plans on inviting the leadership of the association for a dialogue.
I've read about their issues. I would say I'm surprised that they have not seen the need to write a petition to us for us to have a meeting with them, because we have worked with the National Association last year in the amendment of the Teaching Hospitals Act. We virtually, it's Parliament that pushed for their representation in the boards in the teaching hospital. I don't know if there's new leadership, really much. If there are, then those who were there were very consultative and they engaged us.
Well, they said they engaged the ministry.
Absolutely, we are not part of the ministry. We are a legislative arm and we cannot speak for the ministry. Okay. So that's why we are for the people and represent the people. And if there is a standoff between a CEO and suspected position or alleged position against a minister, so the people's representatives will be able to call them together with you, and then we talk about it. And I'm surprised that this time around they have not used that tool that they used to engage us for us to make sure that they were nominated to be part of the board of the teaching hospitals. And that is why, as a chairperson, I expressed because I played a strong role in that, and they are refusing to take notice of what we have done together just about October, November last year.
And you heard the Chairman of Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Nana Yaw-Afriyie. There will be more updates subsequently on the impacts of the striking lab scientists in public hospitals. Away from that, though, some teachers and students have described as irregular the current school calendar. They say the short interval breaks students take as a result of the double-track system affect academic work. The free senior high school program, which took off in 2017, has been widely hailed as a game changer, as more than 1 million students currently have access to second cycle education, with government bearing the costs. This resulted in increase in admission, a situation that gave birth to the double-track system. Listen to two teachers and a student who spoke on condition of anonymity explain how academic work is affected.
The facilities have been overstretched and students are suffering. I mean, we are suffering in school, and I don't see the need for us to suffer when some of us can pay for our education. To sit on the chair that swings you back and forth each time, and your friend, the person behind you, is always complaining. The teachers usually have to rush through the syllabus so that, because they don't know when we are going to go home. The next time the government is going to announce that we have to go home. So they have to rush through the syllabus, and you're also on a chair which is swinging you to and fro. It's not a beautiful experience.
One is the textbooks. For the core subjects, the government has provided for all core subjects. So English, social studies, core mathematics, and then integrated science. But the electives, the parents must buy. And that is where we are having the challenge. If you are teaching an elective subject and the students don't have any textbook to support whatever you are impacting, then it's like you are doing no work. Now, when they vacate and go home, they stay home longer than the contact they have with us over here. It's giving them extra time to do whatever they wish to do, because most of the time, so the parents are not around. And what I realize is that the guys are rather engaging in more Okada work. So they become Okada riders. They are in the house for 2-3 months. So they are doing this Okada work. And when they come back, you need to, we teach from the known to the unknown. You need to recap what you taught the 3 months ago and then bring in the new concept you want to add. And that is where we find it difficult, because none of them is coming up with whatever they learned before going home. If the parents is not able to afford the extra classes, then it means the child is not doing anything apart from engaging in the Okada business.
But the situation is that you may have management, you may have a headmaster, you may have other directors who are to meet authorities and speak on these issues, but probably it's not forthgoing. So you, as a common teacher speaking on the matter, if you are not careful and you are victimized, you also have family, and then it becomes an issue. But calling for incentives shouldn't have warranted this.
Well, teachers talking about the challenges with the free senior high school education. Well, earlier, we spoke to Deputy Director General in charge of Quality and Access at the Ghana Education Service, Dr. Kwabena Tando, who insisted that the double track system has rather ensured more contact hours and improved academic performance, as seen in the recent West Africa Senior Secondary School Certificate examination.
If you look at the semester system, where we have 2 semesters, we have increased the contact time. It translated now to 1,134 contact hours. So in any academic year, we were adding an additional 54 contact hours to students. So over their 3-year period, their contact hours increased by 162 contact hours per year, which translates obviously into more learning out. The reality of the matter is that the first set of free SHS students who were in this new contact hours for 2 consecutive academic years, their results speak for itself. That WAEC result is not even a Ghana result. It is the West Africa Examination Council. It's an international examination.
Dr. Kwabena Tando is Deputy Director General in charge of Quality and Access at the Ghana Education Service. We'll stay with the subject a while longer as the Ghana National Association of Teachers is urging its members and directors of education to speak up on the challenges confronting schools. Listen to NAT Central Regional Chairman Dr. Isaac Owusu.
It is not the duty of NAT to produce textbooks. It is not the duty of NAT to produce infrastructure, working materials. That is not our core mandate. You see, we cannot continue remain silent when all of us here, including, it's unfortunate, our directors, are aware that all is not well. But we are pretending to presume that, we shall overcome. All is not well. We have to admit, and we want to pretend. We cannot pretend. If the director is not getting allowance, how much more the CISO? If all is not well in GES, we are asking managers of education of this country that fix it.
And Dr. Isaac Owusu joins us on the line. Dr. Owusu, you interact with your members. What are the main challenges they encounter in schools, and any idea what reasons they give for their inability to speak up?
Thank you very much, my sister. And let me take this opportunity to say a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners. I believe you can hear me.
I can hear you, sir.
Very well. Yes, as teachers, we implement the policies of the Ghana Education Service in the classroom. So at every point in time, when you are implementing a policy or a program, there is a need for the formulators of the policy to review whatever policy is given out to the workers to work with. But one thing that is cutting across is the fear of victimization. So if a headmaster of a secondary school had issue, he or she is afraid to speak. If a head teacher of a basic school had issue, he or she is afraid to speak. Even if the director of a district education office has issue, now we ask ourselves, so if all these management members are afraid to speak, then the last hope is the teacher unions that they have. So that is why we are encouraging them that, look, when you have a challenge and you are voicing out the challenge, it doesn't mean that you hate whatever you are doing.
Okay, great. But now you're speaking on their behalf as an association. So what are the main challenges?
Sorry, I couldn't get you because the line was breaking.
Great. I just wanted you to explain the challenges that these teachers and directors face.
Yes. One, you see, as teachers, many are those who have completed first degree program that are waiting for GES to update them. Some of them as far back as 2014. Now we have secondary school that we are running. You see, sometimes even feeding becomes challenge to the head teachers. So money to run the schools sometimes becomes challenge. As I speak to you now, the basic school teachers are yet to receive capitation grant for this particular academic year. So all these things are challenges that are confronting us, and if I want to enumerate, I don't think we can end the program today.
But I'm curious, aren't there laid down procedures that they can use to raise legitimate challenges as you're talking about?
Yes, the procedures exist. the procedures exist, my sister. But these challenges are not challenges that are new. They are challenges that have been existed for far too long. You see, so that is why we are calling on the employer so that at least there should be a broad stakeholder consultation.
So is this to say that the Ghana Education Service, the Ministry of Education, they have not said anything to you regarding these challenges?
Hello, my dear.
Yes, Dr. Wusu, I'm asking if there's been any response at all from the GAS or the Ministry of Education.
Yes, we have voiced out our challenges. And when we take the teacher unions, I am a leader for the region. We have the national leadership, and we know that the national leadership of the teacher union, the tertiary institution, like the NAT, CCT, NAGRAT, the leadership are in talking with the top management of GES and the Ministry of Education. So we are waiting patiently to see what the leadership of the unions will tell those of us down here.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it here. That's the Ghana National Association of Teachers Central Region Chairman there, Dr. Isaac Owusu, who says their members should stop pretending and speak up. Still on education, the Ghana Education Service has, in a communique on Facebook, been explaining the current academic calendar. My colleague Joseph Akable joins me with details. Joseph, what does the communique say?
And so it reads that the 2021 academic calendar is designed and planned in coordination with the leadership of CHAS, keeping in mind the need to ensure that schools achieve closing in the gap in learning due to schools closures for COVID-19 prevention. All SHS3 students will complete 1,080 hours before beginning of WASI. It goes on to say that they made up for the lost time from October to December 2020 with a partial reopening of schools to complete the 2019-2020 academic year. All SHS students will also complete 1,440 hours. SHS1 students will complete 1,350 hours as well, and it attaches the timetable, the schedule, i.e. when they are supposed to go to school, when they are supposed to be on vacation, and all this will be available on my Joe Online, where listeners can have access to.
Joseph Akable with details of the GS explanation of the academic calendar. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top headline, there's our scores of patients, including pregnant women stranded and many of them begging to be attended to, as all laboratories and public health facilities are shut down indefinitely. Stay with us. This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aflao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sunmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrot FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady. You're listening to the Midday News. Time now for sports, and Hans is here.
Mamavi, one of the countries hosts of London a medal in this summer's Olympic Games is the men's 4x100 meter relay quartet. Now, to do that, however, the team will require 8 weeks of intense preparation in Europe. That's according to the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association.
We plan to come them after school. That will be first week in June. Between June and July, the team has to be in Europe. The team has to camp in Europe if we really want, as a state, to get to the Olympic finals and to pick a medal. They have to necessarily camp in Europe for at least no less than 8 weeks. I'm very confident. I'm very, very confident. And they are going to drop their times. When they get together, their time is going to drop. If we get 2 or 3 sub-10s, then we are done. If we get 2 sub-10s and 2 10-1s or 10 flat, the athletes will run 37, and there's no way they'll run 37 seconds in the 400 quartet event, and they will not get a medal.
And of course, Ghanaians have every reason to be confident they narrowly missed out on a medal at the World Relays on a technicality. And that was the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association, Paul Fuseni.
And there was an epic shootout yesterday. Manchester United lost the Europa League final.
Let's not talk about that.
Zidane is also out, apparently.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't want to talk about the Manchester United bit. Evans Mensah is bleeding as of this moment. So
are you bleeding too?
No, I refuse to bleed.
Thank God. That's Hans with sports. Now, thousands of the governing New Patriotic Party supporters across the country have applied to be nominated for the role of Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executive. Fact is, there are only 260 jobs available and regional ministers are currently vetting the applicants. Head of the Local Government Service, Dr. Nanato Arthur, is concerned about the party's unity at the base, though he admits the process has been transparent. Dr. Arthur, who endured pushback from his other competitors when he applied for the Commander Edina Egwafo Abrem job with 5 others, told me earlier it took the intervention of the former Central Regional Minister Isaac Edumazi before his nomination was confirmed.
In 2001, we were 5. When I was appointed, some of the members, some of the competitors were aggrieved, and that it affected my confirmation. The first round, that was on the 10th of May 2001, I didn't get to test. The minister then, Honorable Edumazi, had to call all the 5 and then trying to call it bridging the gap. And then on the 16th of May, that's about 10 days after, I got the nod. It is good that the party has started this way, trying to talk to all the actors. Now look, we are one family. 10 of you have applied. There's only one who will come out as the candidate or the president. But before we get there, you guys pledge your support to each other, that whoever comes out as the president nominee, it is from the same family, and that will support that person. So that this problem that comes always with, confirmation, because I was not the one appointed, then my team asking them not to, vote for the president nominee will be reduced.
Well, National Chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay, also says the door is open to anyone who is interested in the job. He says the president has a right to choose outside the recommendation of the vetting committee.
The president has absolute discretion as to who to appoint to be the chief executive of any district.
Heard from Neil van der Boy, who of course is a ranking on the parliamentary committee on local government, himself a former minister. He says your process has led to political patronage, and that people who are getting it aren't really qualified. He said he's even has a situation where people can read and write who are there.
I disagree with him. That's his opinion. That left where we should have asked the people in the district to vote for any chief executive of that district. Of course, that we couldn't carry through because the NDC stood firmly against it.
Mr. Freddie Blay is chairman of the NPP. Now, the dawn of COVID-19 has reaffirmed the need to utilize the digital space for effective business activities. However, looking for suitable digital systems and getting the implementation done right can be a headache, as the wrong tools can be highly disservice. Fortunately, a Ghanaian management information systems consultant, Samuel Enimiaboa, has developed a practitioner's framework to transform businesses digitally. On Tech Thursday, Love FM's Kwesi Deborah speaks with the developer.
As part of his PhD thesis in information systems at the University of Ghana, Mr. Enimiaboa set out to design a model that helps transform organizations and businesses. The Drivers, Processes, Capabilities Impacts DPCI framework is designed for entrepreneurs, managers and business practitioners to help in the digital transformation of organizations. The DPCI framework can help policymakers make and implement policies that will support pursuit of particular drivers to achieve desired policy impact.
People just go for systems without thinking about the implications. People go for systems and think that once you bring in a digital system into your business, everything goes well, without thinking about what they want to achieve. without thinking about what they need to pursue, without thinking about the specific processes that need to be optimized, or even what resources they have and what resources they will need. Competencies they have and the competencies they will need. They don't think about all those things.
Kwesi Deborah with Tech Thursday.
I wish the organizers, the students, and the resource persons of the Kumasi High School debate a success.
Well, that's Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei endorsing the third edition of the Love FM High School Debates. Beginning Monday, 16 high schools in the region will go into a battle of wits in debating national and global issues. Some other dignitaries have also lauded and expressed support for the educational initiative. Listen.
My name is Professor Ellis Ousudabu, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, with the Senior High School Debate, and I fully endorse it for your participation.
My name is Kenneth Ashibe. I'm the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications. Definitely, once we're harnessing the skills of our youth in the form of a debate is the best thing you can get. And I urge all of you to not only participate, but also tune in and listen.
My name is Success Benji, Mayor of Kumasi. I endorse it and will call on all major stakeholders to support it, be there day in and day out.
So the high school debates will be live on Love FM, on Joy Prime and the Joy Learning Channel on Multi TV. And that's how we end the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story, scores of patients, including pregnant women stranded and many of them begging to be attended to, as all laboratories and public health facilities are shut down indefinitely. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. My name is Mama Vio Swabwaji. We'll leave you with the president changing levels.
16th March 2016 was the last time I was at an event associated with the Ghana School of Law. I came in my capacity as the twice defeated presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. Today, by the grace of God and the generosity of the Ghanaian people, I'm here in a different capacity, President of the Republic. In fact, a two-term President of the Republic. As they say in Pidgin, levels don't change.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.
Hey,
oh dada, MTN will never ask you for your PIN. Never reveal your PIN to anyone under any circumstances. And if you are not sure, always check the number. MTN will only call you with a dedicated number, 0244